Whatever's wrong?
Can I stay here tonight?
Well, of course you can. Now, come on in. Oh, heavens, what has happened?
I should have told you when I saw you instead of covering it up that I was trying to protect Steph.
Oh? What are you trying to protect her from?
She shouldn't be allowed to look after children. She shouldn't even be in charge of kennels, let alone vulnerable teenagers.
Oh, I know. Now, don't you worry. You can have Jane's room. Oh, you poor thing. Dear, oh dear. Oh.
So why have you kept it a secret?
I didn't want to upset you. I thought it wouldn't happen again.
It's happened more than once?
Yes, I mean, no. Not properly. He just said he wanted to...
Well, it's just him being a teenager, isn't it?
What?
It's a primal thing, hormones. He's just trying to assert himself. Don't take any notice.
I can't believe it, Charlie. How can you take his side over mine?
What are you doing in here?
Oh, didn't Dr. Harper tell you? She's getting married to Woody and they've adopted me. I'm your new sister.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Oh, poor Ryan being forced to mix with Dennis's great unwashed uncle.
But I love it, Holly. Every night we go to bingo dressed as pearly kings and queens.
What, so you wouldn't welcome back Duncan with open arms if you could?
I pray for it every night at dinner. Anything's better than watching Neanderthal man grease his face with animal carcasses. But you'd know all about the ill-bred, being of their ilk.
Be careful what you pray for, Ryan. You might just get it.
There's just too much baggage with Woody. No, but with all my family stuff and what I used to be like and all the stuff with Johnny, no, it's everything I should have left behind when I went to university. You can't hang on to the past. You've got to move on.
Yeah, well, I've been saying this since we were 16. Look, he was never good enough for you, was he? I mean, he's hardly going to be up to scratch now. Oh, sweetheart, you cannot let this drag on. You are going to have to tell him. Look, no. It was Bradshaw.
What?
Bradshaw, she's the one who's been sending the notes.
Look, are you sure? The other day you were convinced it was Woody.
I'm certain.
Has anyone confronted her?
You know, I like you're this really well-respected member of the medical community.
You, don't believe all this Hollywood rubbish, do you?
Jealous, are we?
What? A fantasy?
Don't be so tough on him. He's in a hard time, you know. He grew up without a mother.
And so did I, Dad, but it doesn't mean I go around making things up about myself to make me look good.
Now, come on, you don't know he's doing that.
You won't hear a word said against him, will you?
Give him a break, son. You had me around in your life. He didn't have anyone.
Oh, just forget it. It's quite clear who the family favourite is. And I'll be glad when he's gone.
Oh, Jimmy.
Well, of course she thinks it's me. Roxanne is in a highly delusional state, and her hormones are everywhere, Dr. Harper. You, of all people, should know the strength of medication she's on.
You don't seem to understand, Mrs. Bradshaw. I have known Roxanne Doyle for a very long time, and I think I would know if this was just in her head.
Well, then you also don't need me to tell you that it wasn't so long ago she thought her husband was trying to kill her.
Yes, well,
Dr. Harper, I certainly respect your medical opinion. And so I know you'll be professional enough to support mine. Roxanne is so very lucky to have a friend as passionate about her welfare as you are. But I shouldn't let it cloud your medical judgment, if I were you.
Charlie, when you're going to have some strong words with your son, you could just let him off.
I can't believe he would have just tried it on. Just out of the blue like that.
I wouldn't believe it either.
I mean, there's no smoke without fire. You must have said or done something to encourage him.
Oh, of course not, Charlie. Why do you think I'm wearing these ugly dark clothes? To put him off.
I think I understand, though. Subconsciously, you realise that sooner or later our age difference is going to tell. So you've started to put out signals to younger men.
Collecting for the church fete. Sorry, I gave at the office.
What are you doing here? I've been worried about you. Why aren't you at school?
I'm sick. Sick of your lying.
Have you said anything to Natalie? Said anything to Natalie about what? About why she ran away? Well, yes, she has. And I have to say I would be lying if what she told me didn't upset me very much. And the fact that you are still looking after Stan... Stan is fine with us. You mean to say things are very different? Why are you still hanging on to things that happened years ago? No, excuse me. Yesterday, you lost him. Oh, and you're the expert on lost children, I suppose. Look, terrible things happen, Natalie, but you've just got to get over it and move on. Not to use it as a weapon to get at people. None of us stay the same. And you do well to remember that before you're left behind.
You heard him, Kate. He denied it in front of you. He's not even man enough to admit it.
He's got other considerations, Mrs. Brake.
Oh, yeah. Like as many other women. Look, I don't want to sound all preachy, but I do think it's time to put a stop to this.
Mrs. Brake.
Look, it's not really appropriate, is it, Kate? Let me look out for you.
Mr. Radcliffe never laid one finger on me.
Covering up for him will only encourage him to keep up this ridiculous behaviour.
The only ridiculous behaviour I've had recently is from your husband. He kissed me.
I know what you're doing, Ryan. There is no need for all that cutlery, and you know it. Stop trying to confuse them.
Them? Who's that, then, my lady?
Don't even know what they're bringing yet. You might even be pleasantly surprised.
No, I'm sure it'll be something completely alien to our palates. And let's face it, Mother, you're a bigger snob than I am. I'm trying to make them feel all welcome, not wanting to scare them off. You just don't really want them here, do you?
Woody has been a very good friend to me just recently. I just want to do something nice for him.
How about elocution lessons?
Well, for somebody who doesn't like Woody and Celeste, you're certainly making an effort. Look, if it really offends your bourgeois sensibilities so much, why don't you do us all a favour and go out for the evening?
Do us a favour? God blimey. You see, the thing is, Mother, you're already morphing into him. You need me here to stop the standards of this house slipping any further into the gutter.
Holly and Della are upstairs. I will not be on my own.
Oh, fine. But I'm not leaving you in this house alone with him.
They still want you back, you know.
Did they say that?
You haven't told Natalie, have you?
Did they say that too?
Think of all the hurt you'd cause and all the resentment. Promise me you're not going to say anything.
Excuse me, but how exactly is that going to motivate me to keep my mouth shut?
Right, well, I just won't leave this room until you promise.
Oh, assertive Della. Very good. Now, is this because you've got everyone's welfare at heart, or could it possibly be because you're trying to impress Josh? Either way, you're in for a long wait.
Hello, love.
Oh, hello, it's you.
You all right?
I haven't been a very good father to you, have I? I wasn't there when I should have been.
What? Well, if you want the truth, quite frankly, no.
Have you ever felt like getting back at me for that?
Charlie, what are you talking about?
There must have been times when you wanted to have a pop.
Are you hoping I'm going to absolve you for past responsibilities or something?
No, I just
This
want
is typical of you, isn't it? You just marching here out the blue because you're feeling vulnerable and you just expect me to forgive you.
Excuse me, but you're upsetting the patient. I must ask you to leave.
Oh, you know, you made your bed, Charlie.
Goodbye, love.
Oh, just get off with you.
Oh, this is really lovely. Wow.
Yeah.
Fancy having a meal prepared for you in your own home like this, eh, Ryan?
Pie and mash, my favourite.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. Your nan cooked the best pie and mash this side of the river. Do you remember, Natalie?
Oh, I certainly do. Yes, I remember.
Fancy a little nibble, Ryan?
Oh, so much trouble.
You do realise my mother only eats organic produce, don't you?
Yeah, well, don't worry about that. I mean, I promise your mum a blast from the past, and tonight she's going to get it. You just put your feet up and let us entertain you.
Just as it should be.
Don't you dare spoil this.
Well, don't you spoil it then.
Mike, we have to talk. I don't know why we have to stand up for this, but it feels right.
Fiona?
I know that you kissed Kate.
Who'd you hear this from?
Did you kiss her?
Yes.
I mean, have you kissed her since? I mean, is this something that you're going to continue doing? Is it going to become a hobby?
No. Fiona. We need to talk this through. I can explain. You know, I think it's good that we are at least talking to each other. Now we need to be totally honest with each other and not be afraid of it anymore.
So, is it all Mr. and Mrs. with you and Josh?
Why, what's he said?
Hello? Oh, Steph. No, I haven't told Natalie. You're sorry? Yeah, ditto. Okay, I'll come home right now. No, I won't dilly-dally on the way. Okay, bye.
Oh, that was lovely.
Not finishing your pudding, Ryan? I made it myself.
I thought it was delicious.
Oh, really? I thought it was like having your stomach pumped in reverse.
Oh, change of mood, eh?
Uh-oh. Looks like he's put his seduction music on. And judging by the amount of wine you've put away tonight, he thinks he's here to stay.
May I, ma'am?
Love to.
Come on, Ryan. All right, just being friendly.
Actually, Woody, it has been such a lovely evening. It really has. But I've got to get a lot of sleep tonight. I don't want to be grumpy with the patients in the morning.
Leave off. I remember you when you used to stay out even on a school night.
Well, times have changed, and so have I.
Well, any chance of a coffee before I get my coat?
Actually, we're right out of coffee, aren't we, Mother?
Thanks, Natalie, but I really should go anyway. I've got Mrs. Skinner at 9 a.m. She won't tip if I'm late.
Like cream, the snob in you rises to the surface. Not that I'd have let him stay even if you'd wanted him to.
Let him. Ryan, you do not make decisions for me.
That's what you think.
Actually, Woody, you know, I really fancy that coffee. Would you like a cup?
Yeah, not off.
Yeah. You better get off to bed then, Ryan. You're obviously very tired and grumpy.
I'll get a cab then.
Right.
Bye, Ryan.
See you in the morning, Ryan.
Well, it might be serious to you, but I can assure you it's definitely just a bit of fun to Mike.
Mrs. Brake, it wasn't anything like that.
Right, well, good. Because marriage means something and you should have a bit more respect. Oh, look, I'm sorry. It's not all your fault. It's Mike's too for falling for the tricks of nubile little teenagers.
It wasn't a trick. I didn't have anybody else to turn to. I said that I was sorry.
Your parents are away a lot?
I never get to see them. I feel alienated from other teenagers because I'm too independent. Look, I'm not selling you a sob story. It was just one tiny little mistake, that's all.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't confuse things, Kate. If people, well, men, are kind to you, it doesn't mean they just want one thing. There are different kinds of love, and you just have to learn to know the difference.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you'll move back when the baby comes.
Doubt it. It can never be the same anyway.
Well, don't you want things to change?
No.
But then you'd always be the same. I mean, you'd never improve, would you?
Maybe I just want to be part of something again.
You know, I just don't want to be lonely. And that's the easiest way to do it.
I don't remember a time when I wasn't lonely. I think I've always been this way.
Maybe we can be lonely together. Who'd have thought our lives would turn out like this, eh?
Yes, you never do know what's around the corner, do you?
Nah.
I've been thinking, Woody.
I mean, you know, if you hadn't have gone off, I mean, we might have, you know...
Woody, I do need to talk to you. Look, it's not you, it's me. No, I've got to be honest with you, haven't I? It's not me, it's you.
Cheers. I knew there was something up.
You were from a time in my life that I have tried to forget. We're just too different now.
You know what I think you are? I think you're a hypocrite. That's what I think you are. I think you changed yourself on purpose when Johnny died. You loved Johnny. We all loved Johnny. You went off to study. You went off to university. You changed the way you dressed. You even changed the way you spoke, Natalie. What is all that about, love? You didn't want anything to do with any of the people that was in your life before. No. I'm not going till I've finished. You hang on. I've got something to tell you. You thought by changing you could get away from what happened. Pretend it happened to someone else in another life. Well, life ain't like that, Natalie Brake. Life ain't like that. You've got to face up to who you really are.
Fiona? Oh! I thought that was a cat trapped in a chimney, but it's just you. Fiona, that was a joke. Fiona? What's happened? What's wrong?
Why no, I can't be angry with her and it's so frustrating. Mike kissed Kate and all the time I was going on at you about staying away from her. I feel so stupid.
Fiona, obviously I don't know the circumstances, but I promise you, it won't have meant a thing to Mike.
You know, it's not as if I'm not willing. And now I know that it's not that he's not interested in that side of the relationship, but that he just doesn't want to do it with me.
Look, come inside. I'll fix you a drink. We can talk this through properly, okay?
Hello, son.
I think you and I got a score to settle. You ever seen a knife an obsessed fan once gave me?
No!
Well, you will if you keep on struggling. Want to try and get past me again? Huh? Old man?
It's all my fault.
No, of course not. But you have to be brave enough to face what's going on inside you. You have needs which are not being met. Why don't you stay tonight?
Okay.
I'll be back in just a minute. Now, don't go anywhere.
I'll need more than empty oaths, Charlie. Tell me everything. How did she die?
It happened when me and your mother took you on a boat trip here. You were 3.
That's not true! Grandma told me everything. You were on your own. Don't lie!
I'm not lying! There was this cave. The sea was calm, so I steered the boat inside. It was huge in there, had its own beach. So we decided to explore. We'd only been in there about, half an hour. And the weather changed. We thought we'd be safe in there at first, but it started to get worse. Waves got rougher. The water level started rising. I raced back to the boat, but it was being smashed to pieces on the rocks. We were stranded. The tide was coming in. Me and your mum had no choice but to climb with you on my back. Somehow I had to find a way out of there. It was so steep. Suddenly your mum panicked. She slipped and fell, and I climbed back down to her, but she couldn't move. I tried with all my strength to lift both you and her. But physically I couldn't do it.
It's okay, Jenga. So don't cry.
When you're a parent, suddenly the choices open to you become very clear. It's one of those unsaid things. You'll know it when you have kids, son. So, it was either save you or her. And she never would have forgiven me if I left you there.
Mummy's all right.
Never forget the look on her face as I left her. So dignified. Hardest thing I've ever done. Somehow I got you out. I don't know how. Once you were safe, I went back. It was too late. The tide was in and she drowned. Parents always blame me, and somehow I've never forgiven myself either. I loved your mum, son. I really loved her.
Don't pinch yourself, I'm not an apparition.
I was asleep.
Dead like a glacier without Roxanne. Oh, don't worry, I don't go bump in the night either. It wasn't an offer.
Well, yeah, Miss Roxy.
Do you think things with you and her will ever go back to normal? You know, I think Dennis would like it if it did. However much he might protest.
If you say so. But Roxy won't let me near her at the moment, much less discuss things with me.
You know, sometimes the best solution is to just shout and run. Write her a letter. No, saying how you really feel. I'll make sure she gets it. You have my word.
Fee, you can change the music if you like. Frankie's alphabetised the rack. There's some more wine in the fridge. You can open it if you like.
Okay.
Just give me 2 seconds.
I couldn't kill you. I'm too weak. can't even take control of anything.
You're a platinum-selling pop star.
I've never written a song in my life.
What about those love songs you sing?
I've spent my whole life singing someone else's words. It's too painful to try to use my own. It has too much meaning.
But you always said that songs are about what you feel inside.
Love songs would be impossible anyway because, I've never been with a woman.
Still had a crack at my dollar.
I'm sorry. That was just a stupid game. Truth is, I've never been able to even touch a woman. Last thing I remember about my mother was the day after she died. When you weren't looking, I walked back into the room where her body was being kept, and there she was, just lying there all naked and cold.
You never said anything to me.
I couldn't. I didn't have the words. I haven't since. I can't look at a woman without seeing the past. I have no mother. And after the way I treated you, I'll never have a father again.
Oh, for goodness. Look, Dennis has gone to get coffee. He'll be back in a minute.
Actually, I'm here to see you. This is for you, it's from Alex.
Oh, I see. What are we now? Alex's little helper? And who asked you to get involved anyway, you know? Haven't you got your own life to complicate?
Don't shoot the messenger, Miss Doyle. It's actually important you read every word of that, because he meant everything.
Listen, you. Just because you haven't got your own family doesn't mean you have to start meddling in mine.
I'm just making sure they don't forget you while you're cooped up in here.
Get out. I said, get out!
What's going on? What have you done to her?
Your mother's gone a bit doolally, Dennis. I was just going to get the nurse.
No, don't bother, thanks. All she needs is for you to leave. And she's not Delally either.
Thank you, my lovely boy.
The vicar's here. Again.
How's Holly?
How's Stan? Know where he is, do you?
Natalie, we've been through this before. I'm his carer.
Well, from now on, just be careful because I will be watching you very closely. Don't want history to repeat itself, do we?
So, how's Woody?
Fine. Why'd you ask?
Just making conversation.
Still interested in other people's men, I see. Tell me, Steph, do you think it really is possible for people to actually change? I mean, I know you've gone from tart to vicar, but underneath you are the same old Steph, aren't you?
Oh, and underneath your stethoscope, you're still the same old Nat, wanting to blame everything and everyone for all your problems. Obviously, Woody means quite a lot to you if you're so scared of losing him. The only person I'm interested in getting back is Holly.
Are you sure she hasn't noticed anything?
Nothing. It's like she's got other things on her mind. Look. See? Maybe kisses don't matter anymore.
Morning.
Oh!
Sorry.
Look, are you okay? I know you got in very late last night.
I'm angry, Mike. I don't know how you could even think about it, let alone do what you did.
Look, it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, but you were tempted. That's enough. It's like admitting that there's something wrong with us.
Fiona.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine doing something like that.
Holly? I want to talk to you.
All I want doesn't get.
Ooh, catfight, cool.
If she says she doesn't want to speak to you, then...
I'm really sorry about what happened. I just want you to come home.
Oh, my money's on the vicar. Cutting jibes are no match for the wrath of God.
Holly, I suppose she is trying to apologise. Perhaps a quick word.
It's too late for that. Look, I want to talk to you and Ryan alone. I've got something you might want to hear.
Please don't ask if you can move in.
Holly, don't do this.
There we are, as ordered. 3 orange juices. Help yourself.
Thank you, Charlie.
There you are, son. I'm sorry I was a bit insensitive earlier.
Yeah, well, I still don't believe in me now. Oi, Django, why don't you play us one of your own songs before you go? Like you said you would.
Hey, Dad. How would you like to hear the first song I ever wrote?
Yeah.
Now I must be on my way. Now I found myself inside. Don't need to hide, don't need to lie again. Is it any wonder, with the love you put me through, that I'll be missing you?
Hey, Jimmy, I think you and I should write a song together someday.
Nice one.
I don't care about some meaningless kiss. It's what he was thinking, or not thinking, about me. Well, I wasn't thinking about him.
But you were thinking about him. That's why you didn't do anything. I knew that. I wouldn't have tried it on otherwise.
You mean you didn't really want...
Of course You're an attractive woman. I was testing you, okay? To show you that it's Mike you really want. And that it's silly looking everywhere else for problems when maybe the best thing to do is to go home and sort it out. You passed, Fiona. So?
So, have you spoke to Django then?
In a way, it's my fault. He needed help. Let's just say I've forgiven him. Or he's kind of forgiven me.
And have you forgiven me? Not that I did anything to forgive.
Were you tempted? Young man, hereditary good looks. Must have crossed your mind. Thought so.
No, Charlie.
There's a lot of years between us, Donna. Always will be. Until...
No, Charlie. Look. Years. Is there anything between us? I promise you.
Holly, what did you want to tell us?
You're actually a man, rather than a dog.
Well, you see, it's not about me. It's about you.
And if that is Steph, you can just tell her that Holly will ring. You're right, Holly.
Mother, it appears that your friend thinks we're throwing a fancy dress party.
Good day, Mom. Edward here. Ready to prefer a measure of sherry down the old rubber-dub if one is not too humilified.
What are you appearing in today, Woody? Court or panto?
What's up? 2 pie mash? Flash?
Yes, I do know what pie and mash means, Woody. I'm not that much of a snob, but I just don't quite understand why I've done up like a dog's dinner.
Typical. The minute I do myself up to get hold of you, decide to drop your accent bar 6 foot. I've done everything except lose my chin. I just thought I'd show you I could do it too. Change myself, I mean. Obviously not as well as you can, but... And again, I never had your natural grace.
Or even an ounce of class, dignity, refinement, or manners.
Now, if this is the sort of thing you go for, I am willing to make myself look a proper donut down the pub for however long it takes to win you back.
Oh, Woody. Put your old whistle back on. I prefer you like that.
How do I sign into the halfway house?
Blaming Will. Blaming Kate. I know I'm just tail chasing. It's us, Mike. Always has been.
I know. And it is my fault. She kissed me, but really that meant nothing. You see, for me, kissing girls, it's just... Look, I can prove to you that it meant nothing because... God, you don't know how hard this is for me to say.
Look, I don't care about the kiss, Mike. What happened, happened.
It didn't. My dad never kissed Kate. I made it all up.
Yeah, Frankie, we know that.
She just didn't want to have to go and live back at home.
Hated there. Sorry.
It's okay, you don't have to go back, Frankie. And you know, even if your dad had kissed Kate, it wouldn't have mattered. Not really. Would it, Mike?
Why not?
Because he loves his family. And that's more important to him than anything else.
Good. As long as he keeps that in mind, everything else should be easy.
I never told her. Why? I suppose I realised that things can never go back to the way they were, even if I wanted them to. People change, lives move on. It's not like what I'm saying is what you're doing is right, because the longer you let it go on, the harder it's going to be when somebody else stops it.
Yeah, I know. Where are you going?
Home.
Where are you sneaking off to?
Dad, I really hate goodbyes.
Oh, yeah. You'll keep in touch though, won't you? Let us know what's going on in Hollywood.
Sure.
Because it seems a shame not to speak to each other. Now we know that we can. Daft, really. You've been here for 3 months. But we've only got to know each other the day you're leaving. Blimey. I can see now that the reason why you don't like goodbyes.
So maybe I'll see you later then. Instead.
Bye, son.